So start number 5, the first question is based on the equations, what is the maximum number of solutions? So it's not asking us how many solutions. The question is asking what is the maximum number of solutions there could be. So to determine that, we're going to look back at the equations. And we're going to be looking to figure out what type of graph we're going to have. And the plus sign is telling me that this is going to be an ellipse. And the second equation is also going to be an ellipse. So we need to think about how many times two ellipses could intersect. So I'm going to draw one ellipse and then a second ellipse, leading them to intersect as many times as possible. And by counting those out, I see that there are 4 possible solutions for a system with 2 ellipses. Now we're going to actually solve this system. How many solutions does this particular system have? And we're going to do that by sketching. So first we need an x and y axes on our grid. I'm going to try to make it even 2, 4. I'm trying to find the middle. So that's going to be my x-axis. And then I'm also going to have a y-axis. Oh, that's terrible. And let's label those x and y. Okay. I also need a scale. And let's count by, let's count by ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you don't put a scale, you will not get full credit on your graph. You have to scale both the x and the y. So now that we have a scale, we can go ahead and graph these. Now the first equation is not written into standard form. So the first thing we have to do is rewrite the equation into standard form. That equation is x squared plus 24y squared equals 36. Standard form means that the equation equals 1. So to make it equal 1, we are going to divide by 36. What you do on the right side, you must do on the left side. And that's going to give us x squared over 36 plus, and I'm going to find the GCF. The GCF of 24 and 36 is 6. So when I factor that out, I have 4 over 6 y squared. Oh, wait a second. 4 and 6 also have a GCF. So I can factor another 2 out. So I actually have x squared over 36 plus 2/3 y squared equals 1. So I'm looking at my denominators. The denominator for the x squared term is 36. That tells me that I go out 6, because that's the square root of 36. I'm going to go out 6 in the x direction. So I'm going to go to my graph, and I'm going to go out positive 6 from the center, and left 6 from the center, and put points there. Now the y denominator is a little bit trickier, because the denominator is actually 3/2. It's the reciprocal of the coefficient. So b squared equals 3/2, which means that b equals the square root of 3 over 2. I'm going to go to my calculator, and I'm going to find that the square root of 3 over 2 is equivalent to about 1.2. And that's where I'm going to graph on the y-axis. And I'm just estimating here. 1.2 is a little bit more than 1. And negative 1.2 is a little bit below negative 1. So once I have the 4 points, those are my vertices and my co-vertices, I can now connect them with an ellipse. So that's the first equation. Now I'm going to graph the second equation. The second equation is a little bit easier because it's already in standard form. The denominator of the x term is 36, which means I'm going to go out 6 in the x direction. The denominator of the y term is 64, which means I'm going to go out 8 in the y direction, because 8 squared is 64. And then once I have those points, I'm going to connect them with an ellipse. So I can see from my graph, I don't actually have 4 solutions. I only have 2 solutions. So that brings us to the third bullet point, which is to determine how many solutions, to determine what the exact solutions are. And you must show your work in order to get full credit on this question. The simplest way to do this is to use matrices. You're going to set up what's called a coefficient matrix using the coefficients of the x squared and y squared terms. So reading them exactly as they come off the question, the coefficients are 1, 24, 1 over 36, and 1 over 64. Those are denominators, so the coefficient is the fraction. And then you're also going to have a constant matrix, which are the numbers on the other side of the equal sign, 36 and 1. These two matrices get put into A and B on the calculator. And then on the home screen, you're going to type A inverse B, and you're going to find that it equals 36, 0. And the top number on your calculator is representing x squared, because that's the coefficient in your equation. The bottom number is representing y squared. So you have to do really quick algebra to solve for x and y. You know that 36 equals x squared and 0 equals y squared. So you're going to take the square root on both sides of the equation. And you're going to get that x equals plus or minus 6 and y equals 0. So then you're going to put the x and y together to get the coordinates of your solutions. So you can use positive 6 and 0 and negative 6 and 0. And those make up your two solutions.